morning, student, and welcome to this session of class 6 computer. In this session, we are going to learn chapter 2nd, history of computers. Let us start over this chapter. Just like a human beings, computer also have a history. So let us start. In 1500s, Leonardo da Vinci invented the world's first mechanical calculator. Leonardo da Vinci invented the world's first mechanical calculator. The mechanical computer invented by Blaise Pascal. Blaise Pascal invented mechanical computer, and that computer is called Pascaline, and it is invented in 1642, and that Pascaline can only do addition. Later, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz invented another machine which could add and multiply. Gottfried Wilhelm invented a second machine. That machine can able to do addition and multiplication. Later, the Leibniz invented a step gear mechanism. Step gear mechanism means that machine can add a number of digits. So this machine was called step reckoner. The machine is invented by Leibniz. That machine is called as a step reckoner. Later, the difference engine. Later, the difference engine, which was developed by Charles Babbage in 1822. Charles Babbage, he was invented the difference engine. This is also a machine. What this machine is doing? See, this machine is considered to be the first automatic computing engine used to a set of numbers. This machine is used for a set of numbers. This machine uses a set of numbers for the calculation purpose. And this is also a computing device or machine. But what happens? But means this difference engine. He did not complete a full-scale function version of computing machine. Means the machine is invented by the Charles Babbage. That is not fully functional. That will not work as a full functioning. So in 1991, the Science Museum, and where that Science Museum is? That Science Museum in London. That Science Museum completed the next version of Charles Babbage's difference engine, and that next version is called as a difference engine 2, and that is full functioning version. Later, a printing feature was introduced to this machine. Again, there is a invention in that machine. What feature is added? The printing feature means that machine can able to do calculation plus printing. This invention can be done in the difference engine 2. Later, in 1837, the first general mechanical computer known as analytical engine was invented by Charles Babbage. Again, Charles Babbage invented in 1837 the first mechanical computer, and that first mechanical computer is called as a analytical engine. And that analytical engine can able to do that analytical engine can able to do arithmetic and logic unit. Arithmetic and logic unit means they can do the calculation logically, means that mathematical problems can be solved by true or false, by addition, subtraction. In this way, all these arithmetic and logic unit can be done. Also, what happens, and data is controlled in integrated memory. What this machine is do, that analytical engine can able to do, or to store the data or to control the data in integrated memory, means the memory is used in this mechanical engine, analytical engine. Huh? And this is done by Charles Babbage. So Charles Babbage is called as the father of computing. From that point, from that day, Charles Babbage is called as a father of computing. Why the Charles Babbage is called as a father of computing? Because he developed or invented the first mechanical computer, and that mechanical computer can able to do the arithmetic and logic unit. Also, data is controlled in integrated memory. That's why the Charles Babbage is called as a father of computing. Hmm? Later, Ada Byron Lawless. Hmm? Ada Byron Lawless. What she is doing? Ada Byron Lawless. She was writing the world first computer program. Huh? She was writing the world's first computer program, and it was used. That program is used for to decipher the World War II coded message from Germany. Hmm? What that program is do, that program is able to do to decipher means to uncoded. The coded message is uncoded. The complex message is uncoded or open. That's why that program is used in the World War II, and that message is sent from the Germany, and this program is used uh, by their military or their defense system. Hmm. So this is very good program to decipher the coded messages, to uncode the coded message. For that purpose, this program is used. Uh, After in 1951, the U.S. Census Bureau, the U.S. United States of Census Bureau become the first government agency. Means the Census Bureau, it is the first government agency of USA. What that agency is doing? That agency is to buy. Hmm? That agency to buy a computer, and what is the name of that computer? UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer. The first computer is by this um, uh, US Census Bureau. That computer name is that US Census Bureau purchase or buy the first computer, and that first computer name is UNIVAC, means Universal Automatic Computer. Then after, based then after, how the computers are generated, means there is a generations are of the computers. There are 5 generations. How these generations are characterized, how they can different from first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. How they can characterize in various generation. So the phrase generation of computers refers to the different hardware technologies used in computers. Means the phase of generation, they are different generation, they are different hardware technologies used, means different devices or hardware parts they are used. That's why they are different from generation to generation. So for that purpose they are characterized, generation first, generation second, generation third, generation fourth, and generation fifth. So in this way the evolution of the computer generation are invented. Then after, there are 5 generations of computer as can be from classified from 1946 till today. Now, the next topic we are going to learn the generations of computer. Now let us start the first generation. huh? First generation. The first generation is started from 1946 to 56. 1946 to 56. In between these, the first generation computers are invented or used. See, the first generation of computers is marked by the use of vacuum tubes. Means first generation computers uses vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes, it is the electronic device. That electronic device is used in the first generation computer, and that vacuum tubes that vacuum tubes, these are the vacuum tubes. That vacuum tubes utilizes a very big electricity. They requires very big electricity. So what happens, these computers are characterized by their large size. How these generation computers are characterized? These computers are characterized by their large size. Means they are a very big. Means size one room size they can acquire. In this amount of that computers are present that time. So a large size. Second character, slow operation. They are slowly operated. First generation computers are slowly operated. High cost means their cost is very high. Their price is very high because they require one room size place. That's why their cost is high. And low reliability. Reliability means they are not reliable. So these are the characteristics of first generation computer. What is the characteristics? Their large size, one room size they require, slow operation, huh? high cost, and low reliability. These are the characteristics of first generation computers. And first generation computers uses vacuum tubes. Due to due to large size and using of vacuum tubes, due to large size and using of vacuum tubes, the first generation computers generates a huge amount of heat. huh? Huge amount of heat means this first generation computer uses a heat because they are using a vacuum tube, and vacuum tube require a big electricity, and that due to that big electricity, the first generation computers generates a huge amount of heat. So to control this heat, there is a requirement of maintenance of cooling. So continuous maintenance and cooling was required. Big ACs they required to cooling the first generation computers. So that's why their cost is very high and their maintenance is very costly. Huh? Some of the some of the well-known computers of this generation. Which are the first generation computers? See, what is the name of the first generation computer? See, ENIAC. ENIAC means what? ENIAC means electronic numerical integrated and computer. ENIAC means electronic numerical and integrated and computers, which was developed in 1946. Then, second computer is ELSAC. Huh? ELSAC. What is ELSAC? Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Computer. It is invented in 1949. Then EDVAC. EDVAC means Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. It is invented in 1951. So these are the some examples of first generation computer. These are the examples of first generation computer. Now, what is the advantages of this generation computer? Advantages and disadvantages that we are going to learn now. Advantages. What is the advantages? See, The first advantage, vacuum tubes, vacuum tube technology made the development of electronic digital computer possible. Huh? Due to this vacuum tube, what happens? This is the advantage. Huh? Due to vacuum tube, the electronic digital computers are possible. Huh? Before this using of vacuum tube, there are mechanical computers are invented. Huh? The mechanical computers was invented, but after the invention of this vacuum tube technology, in the first generation computer, the electronic digital computers possible. Electronically digital computers was made. So then second advantage is what? These computers were capable of performing computation in milliseconds. Means these computers are can we do the computation, means calculations in millisecond. In the millisecond they can do the calculation. Huh? Then next one is magnetic tapes and magnetic drums were used as a secondary memory. Huh? Magnetic tapes and magnetic drums were used in the secondary memory. Secondary memory means to store the data. Huh? For to storing the data, that time they are using the magnetic tapes and magnetic drums. These are the secondary memories. These three are the advantages of first generation computer. Now, what is the disadvantages of first generation computer? So, see, too bulky in size. This is the first disadvantage. Too bulky means they require a one room size area. So, it is too bulky in size. Prone prone to frequent hardware failures. Huh. Prone to frequent hardware failures. Hardware failures. Why these hardware failures occurs? Because they uses a vacuum tubes, and vacuum tubes require a large electricity, and due to the large electricity the heat is generated, and due to that heat the hardwares means electronic parts, they can frequently failure. Frequently failure means they can damage due to the heat or high electricity. So this is the disadvantage. Unreliable. These computers are unreliable. We cannot trust they are starting continuously or not. So they are unreliable. The fourth disadvantage is the generated large amount of heat and required for continuous cooling using air condition. This is the disadvantage. Means this generation computers required air condition for cooling the computers. For cooling the computers, they required air condition. So this is the disadvantages. And these computers are non-portable. Non-portable means they are not transferred from one place to another place because they are bulky in size. They require one place area, one room size area. So they are not non-portable. Slow input and output operations. Slow input means first generation computers can take slowly input, and also they can show the slowly output. So slow input and output operations can be done in the first generation computer. huh. Then machine language required for programming. Uh, these first generation computers can require a machine language. They can run by the machine language. So these are the disadvantages of first generation computer. Now the next point is second generation computer. Now we are going to learn the second generation computer. What is second generation computer? Second generation computer can be started from 1956 to 1663. 1956 to 63. In between, the second generation computers are invented and started. See, the use of transistor plays the vacuum tubes. In the first generation computer, vacuum tubes are used, but in the second generation computer, the transistors are used. What they are used? Transistors. Transistors are used instead of vacuum tubes. They are used transistor. So, due to the use of transistor, what happens? Marking the beginning of the second generation computer. Using the transistor, there is the mark or beginning of the second generation computers. Uh, a transistor is an inexpensive device. Inexpensive. It is not a very expensive device. It is inexpensive device. Means it is not costly. Huh? Yeah, it is not costly. Means the price of transistor is very less. So transistor it is also an electronic device or electronic part. It is inexpensive device that is smaller and produce less heat as compared to vacuum tubes. Uh, this transistor, hmm, this transistor is can do can produce a less heat as compared to vacuum tubes, and these transistors are very smaller. So this is the marking of second generation computer. The higher processing capacity and the operation speed of the computers built from transistor was advancement over the previous generation. This transistor, due to the using of this transistor, the processing capacity of the second generation computer is very fast. Huh? So this is the very advanced feature of this second generation computer. Huh? What is second generation computer? Second generation computer. Now, what is the advantages of the second generation computer? See, what is the advantages? See, the first advantage. The second generation computers are more reliable. Means we can trust on these computers. Means they cannot frequently failure. So they are continuously used or operated. So these second generation computers are more reliable. Huh? Better portability. Better portability means second generation computers are very small. So they can easily portable from one place to another place, or they can easily transfer from one place to another. So this is the advantages of portability. Now less prone to hardware failure. They are using the transistor, and transistor does not require high electricity, or they do not produce the heat. So due to this, they do not prone to hardware failures. They are not failure again and again or frequently. So this is the advantage. Generate less heat. This is also advantage. Generate less heat as compared to the first generation computer. Smaller in size as compared to the first generation computer. So these are the 5 advantages of second generation computer. Now the second generation computer also have the disadvantages. What is the disadvantages? See, frequently maintenance required. Frequently maintenance required. The second generation computer also required the maintenance. They are maintained or checked for every time. Second, air condition required. The second generation computer also required air condition for cooling purpose. Manually assemble of individual components into functionary unit was required. Means manually assembly means they are assembled or invented or built by individual components. Means we have to assemble or insert the components manually. And this is the disadvantages of second generation computer. The examples of second generation computers are IBM 70, IBM 1410, Atlas, ICL 1901. So these are the examples of second generation computers. These are the two generation we have studied now. I and thank you, student. I hope you enjoyed the today's session. These two generations and the history of computers you had studied. We had studied today. Now we will see the next generation, third generation, on the next session. Thank you, student.